As I look up at the beautiful morning sky, I'm reminded of a quote by Ben Franklin. "You may delay, but time will not." Now, isn't that the truth making its presence known? So I ask myself, why do I put off the inevitable? Am I juggling too many plates? Am I pushing off what I love for fear of change? I mean, it's comfortable right now, even though in the upcoming weeks, everything will change, whether I want it to or not. Do I fear the answer or test results? Or am I just simply exhausted? I'll refer to this as the healing or longevity garden now. Putting off the inevitable never means it goes away. It just means we've stacked our tomorrow. As a Spanish proverb suggests, tomorrow is often the busiest day of the week. Welcome to Pinebrook Homestead. My name is Marie, and I am so glad you're here. This is definitely a working kitchen today. Lots of preserving, dehydrating, and a mad dash before the frost comes. In an effort to get all of our tomatoes hopefully ripened in time, we stripped all the leaves, and wow, I had no idea we had all these green tomatoes under those leaves. We did take out all the lima beans, and the row for our garlic that we'll be planting in the next couple weeks is ready. So that's good. We've got that done. And then all the basil is out. The green peppers are still growing, but as soon as the frost hits, we'll have to pull them all. Our potatoes are still doing well. The zinnias are coming to an end, although I am saving seed from them because they were so beautiful and prolific this year. And there's those shishito peppers. Oh, let's move the tomatoes out of the way. These are the green tomatoes that fell when we were trimming all of the tomatoes back. So I don't know if I'm doing fried green tomatoes, if I can force ripen them. But yeah, we're just gonna move these out of the way. How are you? Let's light our oil lamp today. Let's have a little bit of tea and a chat. And I just wanna know how you are. Did you have a good weekend? I really hope you did. I really do. Mine was busy. We are, let's see, I don't even know what the date is today. That's how, I know Today is Monday, but I don't even know what the date is today. Isn't that bad? That is so bad. That's what happens, I guess, when you are not so focused on a calendar, but you're focused on days of the week, where you need to be, and you're focused on getting as much done before the frost. And that is where we are at. You know, it's funny. I seriously try not to procrastinate, but there are definite times that I put off the inevitable. Now, why do I put off the inevitable? Well, I'm tired. How about you? You know, I'm 54 years old. I'm taking care of a lot, not just the home and the family and the gardens, but all of the preserving, my grandchildren, whom I love so much. But I'm taking care of a lot. And yeah, I get tired. I'm focusing on my walking. And, you know, that was something I would put off too. Absolutely. I would sit there and go, I need to walk today. Oh, but there's too much to do today. And I stopped for a minute and thought, especially after August and my health scare, I thought to myself, there's no better day than today. If I don't do it today, I know I'm not going to do it tomorrow. How about you? That is how things go sometimes. And it's okay, but it's not. We need to put ourselves first. You know, we are so good at taking care of everybody else, whether it's your job and you give 110% at your job, whether it's your home, whether it's your family, your grandchildren, whatever it is. And it always seems like mom or grandma falls way down the totem pole. And we get tired. We do. And it's all right to get tired, but we still need to take care of ourselves. What are some other things I have been putting off? The dreaded basil. Yes, those basil plants, and I probably had 8 of them. Those basil plants had gone rogue. They were the bushiest things and they were flowering and bees were swarming in and out of them. And I knew in my head, this task is going to take me at least a couple hours to harvest it all. And then it's going to take me days to dry it all. You know, I have already made 7 jars of pesto that are in the freezer. We cannot eat that much pesto. And making that much more pesto uses that much more olive oil that right now I don't have and I'm not ready to go buy. So I'm drying all this basil. It took me 6 rounds of 2 hours each. I'm on my very last round right now to get all of this basil dried. Now, in the winter, I am not going to complain a bit. But when everything else was on my plate, I didn't want to do that basil. And it took me looking at my husband to say, we've got to trim the leaves off the tomato plants so that the sun can get to these tomatoes and hopefully ripen more of them before frost. And the problem was, is my husband couldn't get into the tomatoes until I removed the basil plants. Yeah, I put it off. And it had to be done. It's an inevitable. It had to be done. You know, it's been difficult on the homestead these past couple weeks because we have been in the 80s for weeks. Like our lows go down to about 48, 58, maybe even 60. But our highs are staying in the 80s. Today is 80. So it's hard for me to wrap my brain around that it's not summer still, that because everything's still growing and The problem is the first frost comes in and then it's like panic. And I don't want to panic. I really want to stay ahead of this and kind of go at my pace. And my pace was putting off basil for a very long time. You know, avoiding the inevitable might be getting to the doctor when you know you need to. And I can't say that I put off getting to the doctor because I didn't. I have put off yearly physicals before. I have put off in the past maybe an OB/GYN appointment or a mammogram or something like that. We can't put these things off. Our health is very important. And maybe it's a struggle financially. I understand. Like I said in one of my previous videos, my husband's employer switched our health insurance. Maybe it's the dentist and you just really cringe at the thought of getting your teeth cleaned or what they might find. We have to go and we have to take care of ourselves. And we can't put off the inevitable, because the inevitable, if we continue to put off these things, the inevitable is that we're not well. And the sooner that we can get ahead of a problem, absolutely, the better off we are. So if that's you, please, by all means, make your appointment, do it for me, and, go there. Another thing that I've put off is how I eat. Absolutely. I cook from scratch meals. I'm proud of it. I cook them for my family every dinner. And during the day, I would eat like a bird. I was so busy, or so I thought. And I would just grab something, shove it in my mouth, and keep going. I can't do that anymore. My body this time around told me I can't do that anymore. My food choices are extremely important to getting better and healing. And I know that. And so that is one of those priorities for me. Putting off the inevitable might be calling that friend or family member to say you're sorry. Maybe you said something that might have hurt their feelings. And even if you still believe that your point is valid, is that relationship worth being right? Sometimes not. Sometimes it's okay to agree to disagree. I know that's hard in this society right now, but with your friends and your family members, it should be. So don't put that off, because what if tomorrow doesn't come and you never have the chance to say, I'm sorry? That's important. We need our family, we need our friends, and we need connections. As much as the world wants to divide us all, we really do need each other. We do. And that is one of the things I love about this channel. From my tried and true subscribers that communicate through the comments. I love you all tremendously. From the prayers that I will get, and I have ladies across the world who will comment, and they're beautiful women. I know they are. I see their hearts in the comments. Where else are we avoiding? Could it be in your devotions and getting back to church? Trust me, this Sunday, all I wanted to do was sleep in. That's all I wanted to do. Now, granted, I don't sleep in very well. I just didn't want the alarm clock to go off. Can anybody else feel me? And even when my alarm clock goes off and it slowly wakes me up with my sunrise and my birds, I just didn't want it to go off. I really didn't. And at one point, I was almost ready to ask my husband, can we just not go today? Maybe watch it on TV? No, we got up. We had an hour. That was plenty of time to get ready. We had an hour. I turned the alarm clock off, but we still got up at a decent time. We had an hour to get ready, and we went to church, and that was awesome. It set me up for the week. And obviously, I did not turn off the ringer on my phone before pressing record. It's real life today. It is a busy kitchen day. I am desperately trying to get in everything that I need to get in. So this morning I got out. It'll ring again. I'm going to keep going. Let's have a sip of tea and then I'll tell you. So today's tea is green tea. Did you know that in order to get the maximum benefits of green tea, that you should steep green tea at 80 degrees for your water? I didn't know that. And to only let it steep for 30 seconds to a minute to get the maximum. Otherwise, it turns bitter. And if the water is too hot, you do not get all the amazing health benefits of green tea. So there is your pro tip today, something I learned last week. So I'm incorporating that. Cheers. Yeah, the phone's going to go off again. So this morning I got up and my husband didn't have to go into work till late. And I was like, okay, I've put round 3 of the basil in, and I'm like, I have 2 hours. And I'm looking around, and I needed to run the dishwasher, do some other things before I could get started on some of my other projects for the day. And I was like, okay, it's perfect. I'm going to get out and I'm going to go walk. So I was out walking. I think I left at 7:45. Now, the plus was that it was so cool. So it was just beautiful. It was crisp. It was cool. And I'm walking around the neighborhood. There it went. Sorry. I'm walking around the neighborhood and I'm noticing all the beautiful fall decorations and flowers. And then I'm looking up and I'm like, none of our leaves are turning. And I really believe, and if they are turning, they are literally crisping to a brown and dropping. We do not have any beautiful color yet. I really believe it's because we have been in the 80s. We've not had a cold snap. We've not had anything to warrant these leaves to start changing. And I'm fearful because we've had such a drought for 2 months that we're barely going to get any color. I think they're just going to all turn brown and drop, which is kind of sad because I really do love the fall colors. Are the fall colors coming out in your area? I know north of us, you should be. But here, it still looks like summer with dead leaves. Oh, you know, it's Monday, and a lot of you had to go back to work. I did too. Have to get my videos up, have to get the processing done, have to get ready so that everything's taken care of for tomorrow when I'm not home and I'm with my grandchildren. So I don't stop just because I work from home. But there's always that, it's Monday. You know, you come off the weekend, and a lot of you, if you work Monday through Friday, your weekends are cram-packed. Do you take time to rest? I know I never used to. when I worked full time. And I think that was part of my burnout. I really, really do. On the weekends, it was game on, and there was this laundry list of things that had to get done. And I was still running this amount of gardens at that point. So I really put the pressure on myself. I really did. And now maybe that is why I kind of put off a few things to make sure that I enjoy some. I don't know. How about you? What do you avoid that you know is inevitably have to get done? What do you avoid? And then how can we get to the point where we're not avoiding them? Because I don't know about you, but for me, when I avoid them and I look at the 8 basil plants that really need pulled, it does send a slight stress trigger through me because I know I'm avoiding it and I know that I have to get them done. And I'm looking at garden beds going, I don't want to do this in the cold. I would rather start taking everything down, start prepping everything now. But it doesn't even feel like fall at 80 degrees. You know, I think one of the main things, there's 2 actually that I want to talk about today. There's 2 things that might help us in avoiding the inevitable. And one is actually looking and seeing what is most important. Are there things that you permanently can let go of? You know, here's a little story for you, and I am confessing today. Yes, I am. It always comes about the end of September and the beginning of October where I am just done with the gardens. I'm exhausted. I'm tired of watering them. I know the harvest that's going to come in, and I dread it. I dread it. And then it comes to pulling it all down, and it's another drudgery. But once it's all down and it's blank and it's just soil with leaves on top of them and there's nothing growing anymore, I do get sad. But in that moment of drudgery, I actually think to myself, is there any way that we could scale back next year? I do. I really do think that sometimes. Like, I'm just getting older. You know, the boys that are still home, half the time they don't even eat at home. What can I scale back on? Or how can I make the garden work differently for me? And that is something I will be looking into come January and February on what we plant next. Because preserving all of it is wonderful because I have it all through the winter. It really does save on our grocery bills, but eating off of it all season long also is a huge benefit. So I'm going to be weighing what is going to be more important, eating off of it or preserving it, and seeing where I go from there, really. So maybe there might be something in your life that you can look at and you can go, you know, there's just times I dread it. Maybe you're volunteering somewhere and you used to love it, but you don't anymore. Could you tailor back on that? And it's okay to live your life for you. Don't feel obligated because you've put in 5 years of volunteering somewhere that you have to continue on. You have all the right to pass the baton. There are seasons in our lives, and sometimes in those seasons, it calls for change. It really does. So I will be looking at the gardens next year. I will definitely not be planting as many basil plants, as many pepper plants, and especially not as many shishito peppers that I've been planting. The other thing is with our priorities. What truly do we value? Because yes, my faith, my family, and the gardens ranked number one in the beginning. Those were my biggest priorities. And the garden feeds me, not just physically with food, but it feeds me mentally and spiritually. And I love working out in the garden. I do get tired come September and October, not gonna lie. But when spring comes, I can't wait to get my hands in the dirt again. But when it comes to the priorities, my priorities shifted. And my priorities shifted to my faith, my family, and now my health. And so can you look at your priorities and look at what you're putting off? And let me tell you, I put off things in the house right now. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I put off pulling towels from the dryer. I'm like, I'll get those in the morning. And then 2 days later, when I go to do laundry again, those same towels are still in the dryer. Can anybody relate? I'm tired. And health has become first and foremost this, and I'm still waiting. I know I had a dear subscriber ask if I have any test results back. I do not. I believe I will not hear anything back from the pathology report until October 15th. And then they are going to draw blood again and see where my cancer markers are now. So I got to tell you, since I knew of the cancer markers being like slightly elevated, and that's what they were, I have hardcore changed everything. But here's what I want to say. Why does it take a health scare to kick us in the butt to take care of ourselves? Just asking. Because when the health scare comes, is it too late? I don't know. I will keep you updated on when I find out the test results. I'll keep you updated on that, and I'll keep you updated on what I'm doing going forward. As of right now, I am getting a tremendous amount of vitamins and nutrients from all of my fibrous vegetables. I'm eating good protein, and I am focusing on my sleep. I am now, hallelujah, praise God, I am getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep. I am prioritizing my sleep. And if any of you know, at 54, 7 to 8 hours is practically unheard of. We always wake up. We always wake up. You know, it's that hormonal shift. It's all that kind of stuff. But I'm training myself. I'm prioritizing sleep so that my body can recover. So that is something. And again, I am focusing on the food and making sure that I'm getting my meals and getting all of the fiber that I need and getting my gut back in check so I can get rid of all this extra hormone that I have. So that's where I am at. How about you? What can you do for you that might maybe give you a little bit more energy? Maybe it is focusing on your sleep and kind of training yourself to get more sleep. If that's it, put it in the comments below, and I'll definitely share what I've been doing to get more sleep. Anyways, ladies, we can't put off the inevitable because ultimately it's still there. And unfortunately, when we put it off, it just actually stacks more on top of our plate. I have cardinals booting each other off of the bird feeder that I can see right there. You know, fall is coming, and I know this, and this is a busy season. I should say fall is here. It just doesn't feel like it for us right now. But this is a busy season because once it gets cold, I won't have all these jobs and chores anymore, and my focus can change. So right now, it's just getting through the busy season and stop putting off the inevitable. Ladies, thank you so much. Oh, and for those of you who have stuck around, if you are interested in becoming the CEO of your health, I have opened up a membership. And I am going to be able to walk you through, give you support, and give you all of the things that I have searched for and uncovered in my quest for better health. So the membership is on my YouTube page at Pinebrook Homestead, and the first video is up. I am so excited about this, and we'll be talking about it more. But if it's something that you're interested in, you just need support in your health journey, please, by all means, check it out. Until next time, if you liked today's video, would you share and leave us a comment? Leave me a comment. Let me know how you are. That's what I really want to know. I want to know you're doing okay, because that is the most important thing. Thank you so much, everybody. I look forward to seeing you on Friday. Bye-bye.